All right. Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me and see me okay here? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can. Hello, welcome. All right, I see some thumbs up. Great. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So glad to have you here. As y'all are coming in, let us know you're here. Let us know where you are tuning in from. We love to see where people are. Octavia, yes, this is being recorded currently as we speak, and we will send out the recording after this call. All right, welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you here. My name is Joanna Waterfall. If we haven't met yet, I am the Partnerships and Community Manager here at Flodesk. And if we haven't met, please shoot me a DM so we can say hi to each other. I'm so excited about today's workshop that we have for you all. We have an incredible guest, Natasha, who I'll introduce officially in a moment here. But first off, I do these in webinars/workshops because I think it's really fun and exciting. Um, I want to hear what you're celebrating today. As a small business owner, what are you celebrating? What are the good things happening in your world? I want to hear it. Let's put it in the chat. And while you're putting those in the chat, I'm going to go over a few logistics to make sure everybody knows what's going on, and then we will go ahead and get started. First off, Q&A. We will have a Q&A section of this workshop at the end. So if you have a question, there's a specific place to put your questions in so they don't get lost in the chat. There's a little area down here. It says Q&A. If you have a question at any time during the workshop, put your question in there. And then at the end, when we have time, we will address those questions. Okay. Also, this meeting is being recorded. Natasha has generously offered to also give you all her slides from this. So if you're popping in late or if you have to leave early, you will get access to this. So no worries, although we love it when you're here live. And then last thing, I feel like there was one more thing I was going to say. This was it. I wanted to make sure you all know that we have a brand new Slack channel for partners. This is our area where we are wanting to connect with you all, have a really easy place where you all can connect with each other, where we can connect with you, where our team can connect with you. So we want you to join that. If you haven't yet joined that, please do. Vanity already did it. I put a link in the chat there for you to join us. All right. Okay, wonderful. Oh, guys, I'm recording. Sorry. My children are coming in right now. Guys, I'm on call. Okay, I'm going to read some of these celebrations and then I will introduce Natasha for you all. Okay. Please ignore crying children in the I knew I should have locked my door. Rookie mistake. Okay. Let's see. We got Ebony is celebrating her clients in her second cohort of your 3-month program. Congrats. Amazing. Amazing. Katrina is celebrating being a finalist in a special grant. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Chanel, I hosted a webinar for a client that has 200 RSVPs and over 100 people showing up. That's incredible. Amazing. And then Abigail, we're doing our first live talk on stage at Wales and West Photography Show this Friday. Not a win yet, but super excited. I mean, I think that's a win. That's definitely a win already. Amazing. Oh my gosh, and celebrating making 20K this year. Congrats. Amazing. I love hearing those. All right. Keep those celebrations coming. And if you haven't yet, scroll up, read through them in the chat. All right, I am going to be done talking here, and without further ado, introduce our incredible speaker, Natasha, here, who will be leading us through an incredible webinar today about how to share Flodesk. Natasha is a pro. She has been doing this for years. She has built such an incredible community, and so we are so grateful for her to be here with us, sharing all of her wisdom. So, without further ado, would you all join me in giving Natasha a round of applause and a warm welcome?
Okay, I'm here.
Yay,
I'm unmuted.
welcome.
Hello, yay! Thank you.
Yay.
This is gonna be so fun. I feel like just sharing about Flodesk is like something I do in my sleep, it feels like. So I'm excited to kind of share some insider things of how you can continue to share more about Flodesk as a partner. So let's get right into it. Let me get my slides rolling and we will get started. So we're going to be covering how to share about Flodesk without feeling salesy. And for some context, I honestly, probably my most common DM that I get related to any brand that I love or share is always related to Flodesk. So many people constantly tell me they've been using Flodesk for years because of my referral, because of my recommendation. And it's obviously like a win win, right? We're sharing a platform we already love with people that are really needing that solution. So I'm going to share a little bit about what's been working there. So, what really leads to a successful partnership? And really, it is the consistency element and organically sharing about Flowdesk. And when you consistently share about Flowdesk and you organically just share it in your content, share it with your clients, share it in your offers, you're able to not only build trust with your audience, your community, and your customers, you're also able to build that awareness. So that's going to increase the amount of conversions versus if we only share about Flowdesk like once in a while, once in a blue moon, people aren't really aware that not only it's something that we love, but something that they can choose as an offer and a solution for them. And also, of course, we know as being a partner, we're able to get income. So it's really a win win situation the more and more we're able to share about Flowdesk. And what I really see is that a lot of partners, whether you're a creator and you're thinking of this from a content lens, or if you are maybe a service provider or you have digital products and offers, is that often you kind of create your own content, talk to your clients how you normally would. And then when it comes to promoting and sharing your partner link, you kind of switch modes and things feel totally different, which can make it hard for us to share it confidently, but it also can make it a little tricky for people to feel like they actually want to convert and take that next step and use Flowdesk. And so this is a game plan that I kind of wanted to share with you. It's inside my process, but also sharing some ideas and strategies so you can essentially execute what we're going to be talking about today. So the first thing is we're going to be talking about content. You can definitely think of this as the lens of content creation. I am a video content strategist. I also am a video content creator and educator, and I have a video content agency. So obviously my brain thinks in video, but apply this to the services, the social media types of content, and even into offers and stuff, which I'll share a little bit more how you can apply that. Then we'll talk about prep because if you want to be showing up consistently with sharing your affiliate link and your partner link, you have to prepare. It doesn't just happen off the cusp. It can, but you want to make sure you're being really intentional about it. And most importantly, how can you maintain this consistently? What does this actually look like? So let's get right into it. So when it comes to content, there's really three types of content that converts best for people actually clicking your link and signing up to use Flowdesk. First, we want it to be really relevant to them. What are they looking for? What are they interested in? How are they going to be using Flowdesk? We also want it to be authentic. Definitely let me know in the chat. Have you ever seen someone sharing about something and you're like, this just doesn't feel right? Maybe it's the first time they've ever shared about it. Maybe they're just like, it feels like an ad. It feels very public. Like, I mean, we all have that feeling, right? Like I've seen this, I'm like, do you actually like this? Are you actually recommending this? So we want to do the complete opposite of that. And we want it to be really authentic to the people we're sharing it with. And also we want to get creative. We don't want to just be like sitting down, like, I love Flowdesk, use it, right? Let's think of creative ways we can infuse it into the things that we're already doing. So, what does relevant content actually mean? There's kind of like this sliding scale. That's what this little visual is with the sparkle of the things that you want to create, the offers that you already have, the things you're excited about, things that come really natural to you, and what your ideal followers and customers are actually looking for and consuming. We don't want to only create what we want to create, but we also don't want to only create what other people are asking for. We really want to find that in between mark because that's how you're making it not only relevant to them, but relevant to you as the absolute expert. And then when we think of authentic, I feel like we hear this as such a buzzword all the time on social media. I know I've been guilty of telling people to show up authentically, but what does that actually mean? It means that you don't need to reinvent the wheel when you're creating partner content. You want to lean into what makes your brand unique. How do you naturally talk about things? And what your community already loves that you do. So if your thing is doing live webinars and classes, that is probably a really great place to start for sharing more about your partner link. Another example is for me, I love creating video content. So whether it's stories, reels, YouTube content, how can I naturally just integrate talking about it in content that I'm already creating or in formats that are already totally natural to me? So we don't want to like start from scratch, start totally new. We really want to lean into what our unique brand is already doing and what really is already working. And most importantly, I want you to get creative and really think out of the box on how you're sharing about Flodesk because it should be fun, it should be easy, and you don't need to switch into sales mode when you're talking about it. It can be as natural as any of the things you're already doing in your marketing or when you're working with your customers and clients. So I want to brainstorm out some ideas. I literally was like, I'm going to throw it all at you. All the ideas I have when it comes to content specifically that you can use in your own content to share about your partner link. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing these slides if you want to reference these, but definitely let me know which idea you feel the most excited about in the chat. So the first is behind the scenes, which I love because it's naturally very authentic and real because it's stuff that you're already doing. So whether it's like a day in the life, more of a vlog, whether you're working on client work and you're setting up a Flodesk workflow, or if you're sitting down to batch your own emails, or whatever that looks like, whether you're doing it as like a building in public angle of like, hey, I'm prepping my launch emails and let's do it together in Flodesk, or maybe you're talking about your client work, whatever it is, how can you just bring people behind the scenes into the things you're already doing? It's so low lift. Then we have kind of like highlighting the new really fun features. I know one of my favorite things, and probably one of your favorite things, is that Flowdesk is always releasing things that we're like, how did y'all know that we literally wanted that? And so when you're excited about a feature, share about it, share how you're excited to use it, give people ideas on how they can use it and implement it. And it's a great way to show how Flowdesk is different from other options and other platforms that people might have, and also show how you're excited to actually use and execute it. Then we have a very simple how-to video, which honestly, simple just sometimes hits really hard. So how do you use Flodesk? How can they use Flodesk? You can insert how-to blank for your specific ideal follower, for your clients, for what you do, your industry, your niche. And this can be very specific to a specific feature or just an overview of everything. So how-tos always hit. Another one can just be sharing some thought leadership. So maybe you're sharing your own thoughts, your own musings, your own opinions as it relates to email marketing and your industry and niche. So naturally, I am not an email marketing pro, but video and email, I think, go hand in hand. So whenever I'm talking about Flowdesk, I'm essentially sharing how email can help you increase your conversions from video content. And I also talk about how video content can help you grow your email list, right? They really go hand in hand. And so I'm not talking about it from I'm an email expert lens. I'm talking about it from the expertise I already have. So don't be afraid to lean into your own industry and niche and tie it into email if that's not already your industry or niche. Another one, which I really love, is a series. And if you follow me, you know I honestly cannot shut up about series because I feel like they're one of the best video strategies you can be using in 2025. So instead of just talking about Flowdesk ones, which of course we're trying to avoid as much as possible, you can create an entire series around Flowdesk. Maybe you're setting things up, maybe it's list building, maybe you're setting up workflows, maybe you're making everything beautiful and branded. You can essentially take all the different elements that you're using or loving about Flowdesk and break it into a multiple part series that people can binge and get those multiple touch points with. So I actually did this on my YouTube channel, and I had so many people sign up from this series because people were literally like, I'm looking for list growth. I'm looking for the right platform. I'm looking for all these things. And I essentially covered all of that in this series and I organized it into a playlist. I shared a template in it, which I'll talk more about how you can infuse that into how you're actually sharing and being a partner. But series are a really great way to go deep and have it be a continuous theme in your content. Another one is actually sharing real results. So I feel like I already kind of saw some results in the chat, which I love. But how can you share case studies and real results that people are seeing using Flodesk? So maybe it's your clients, maybe it's your customers that you've already put on Flodesk. Maybe it's for yourself, maybe things that you've already seen since using Flodesk in your email marketing. And kind of the last one is, what are people looking for recommendations for? What frequently asked questions do they have? What advice are they looking for? Like, what problems do they need help solving? And how is Flowdesk the solution? This is a great way to really position you as that expert, that person that's really helping your community or your clients, and show how whatever they're struggling with, Flowdesk can be a solution to. And so those are just a few ideas, but I want to talk about how to actually bring those ideas to life. So these are four of my favorite formats that I think really make visually engaging content, videos specifically. And so I'm going to show some examples. But the first thing is a screen share demo, literally showing people inside Flowdesk. As we know, it's so clean, so easy to use, so intuitive. So we want to actually visually show that in the content we're creating and actually showing how to use those features. Another one is a green screen. I love this format because it's kind of a low lift way to add some extra visual interest to your content. Another one is a storytelling video. So essentially, you're combining a voiceover element or music or even just the natural audio of your video. And then we're including it with B-roll. So I'll kind of show you what that looks like. So you're telling a story while tying it into Flowdesk. And another one is just having like stock content, which essentially is B-roll footage that is actually showcasing Flowdesk in it. This is building that awareness. It is a really natural way to show how you use and love Flowdesk. Okay, so a screen share demo, pretty self-explanatory here. This is an example of me actually like filming my actual screen. So that's one way you can do this and kind of talk through it. Or you can literally do a screen share on your phone, on your computer for having that extra visual element. Another one, like I said, is a green screen. So whether it's showing maybe your LinkedIn bio that you created using Flowdesk, I've done that before in videos, or if you're showing maybe what your emails look like and you're breaking down what you wrote in your emails, how can you take those visual elements and have a talking element on top of it? Another one is that storytelling video. So I'm going to kind of show you it and then I'll kind of tell you more about it. There is meant to be audio. You can't hear it. Okay, well, we'll just pretend that you can hear the audio that you're seeing. Just so you guys kind of get a gist of like what I was saying is I was kind of addressing a problem I was having and my audience was having of like, hey, I feel like I was on my phone too much. My screen time is out of control. I was looking for a solution. So I'm automatically relating to what people are interested in and like a story and an experience I was actively having. And then I was essentially just like giving the solution was like, hey, I actually tried something. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? Hope that didn't mess up my audio. Oh no. Okay, you can hear me now. Can I get like one more thumbs up? Okay, you can hear me. Perfect. But yeah, so that kind of shows you like a storytelling element, and you can kind of do a story that's totally unrelated to video or to email, or you can tie it directly into like, I was trying everything when it came to marketing, and email ended up being the best thing that I could ever do for my business. Or it could be as simple as like, I really have wanted to spend less time on social media and more time with my family, more time offline. And that's why I love that I can schedule and not have to think about the workflows and the emails that I set up in Flowdesk. So you're kind of tying it into like a story experience that you're having, and you're actually bringing that into talking about Flowdesk very naturally. Like storytelling is a no brainer. It's why so many influencers and creators use it in their content because it just connects so well. And then, like I said, the stock content. So, kind of a visual example of me actually showing all the forms and things that I have set up in Flowdesk. So, whether you're sharing that in any type of content, even carousels, those types of things, you can actually add in those videos and naturally just like visually show Flowdesk as well. And so those were a lot of content ideas you can essentially apply to video, but you can essentially take all of these content ideas and use it off social media, depending on how you're connecting with your community, your clients, and your customers. So just a few ideas. I'm sure the wheels are probably already turning, but with that screen share demo idea, that could be a really great resource for your clients. So I know when I'm onboarding my clients, I'm sharing how to set up tools, I'm sharing how what we're using, I'm sharing all these types of things and like a simple Loom video, for example. And you essentially can do the same thing for your clients. So did you set up an email marketing workflow? Do you want to show them how they can continue using it? Do you want to give like a complimentary thing they can implement if like you set up a website for them and now you want them to have forms or different things to go along with it? So how can you think of things your clients are already needing or wanting and essentially use it as an opportunity to share a demo on how they can use Flodesk with that? Another one is the how to. Obviously, makes such a great course lesson. So, assuming email marketing feels really natural as it ties into any digital products like courses that you have, how can you create an how to video that seamlessly goes into your curriculum and the modules that you're already having? Another one is with that new and noteworthy features that you're excited for. This could be really great for hosting your own live workshop or webinar on like how to use it, get some awareness on it. It also could be a great thing to do in like a community. So maybe you want to go live in a community and share about it or share posts. But hopefully this gives you a few ideas on how you can, whether you're working one-on-one with clients or you have different types of offers and products, you can lean into your strengths, lean into what you're already doing, and naturally share about Flodesk. Because I know if I went to a workshop talking about a specific feature and a way to use Flodesk, it would be a no-brainer for me to join. So it's a really great way to get people interested and on the platform. So I wanted to show you a way that I've actually done this in my business. So I essentially did a workshop all about creating your signature video series. And one of the things that were included in the workshop resources was a Flodesk template. It was something that I was naturally talking about in the workshop on how I was able to grow my email list with a video series. And so I talked about how I actually set it up with the form, with the workflow, with the email I sent. Like I broke everything down. And so instead of spending a lot of time talking about it in my workshop, which I definitely could have done, but I had so much to cover, I added as its own bonus resource that people got when they actually got the replay and everything. So as you see, I have my affiliate link. I have two different templates that I essentially created because yes, to Joanna's point, when people actually access a template, that also is your partner link. So it's a really great natural way to help people, give them a bonus resource, but you're automatically getting people to get that kickback for you. So it's definitely a win-win and an easy thing to add into offers you maybe already have existing. And kind of an obvious one is like when you're writing emails in Flowdesk, talk about Flowdesk. It can be something that's in the PS or the bottom section of your email. It can be something that you're literally infusing into what you're talking about in your email. So I was talking about in this email essentially how I was infusing some email list growth strategies as I was going into the new year. So I literally had like tons of screen shares. I was sharing my strategy. It was very valuable, very educational. And then naturally, I was able to link my affiliate link in multiple places as well. So yeah, just a few ideas on how that can kind of look and how you can take those content ideas and turn them into non-video content as well. And so now we're going on to from content to prep, because while I want you to be organically sharing in the moment, like if you're naturally like looking at a feature in Flowdesk or doing those behind the scenes moments, those can be things you naturally add into how you're sharing. But it's really important that you intentionally plan the content and include partner content in that. So here's exactly how I plan partner content into my content calendar. So the first thing I do is I already have a rough content schedule. So whether it's for my emails, my YouTube, or upcoming reels or stories that I have. So I like to literally put it into the content calendar of when I want to share about it. And once we talk more about consistency, kind of the balance you want to have between your other content and including Flowdesk, so we are consistently having it as well. Then I like to actually outline the entire piece of content that I want to create. This makes sharing and talking about Flowdesk really seamless and really easy. So you can make it essentially convert well, right? So this is kind of an example of a YouTube video that I did for that series where I was sharing about Flowdesk. So I'm essentially talking about, like, I outlined all my main talking points, bullet points, and I even included essentially what I wanted to say about Flowdesk in that outline. And another example is even for Instagram stories. Instagram stories has definitely shifted and changed a lot. And I think of it more as something you can intentionally plan the slides for. And so, what I like to do is I like to think of what is something I want to share on each story slide. So it naturally tells a story and people are staying retained, they're staying excited, and they're getting to the end where ideally I'm sharing my link for whatever it is that I'm sharing. So, hopefully, this gave you a few ideas on how you can actually make sharing your link a lot easier just with a little bit of prep and planning. And kind of another example of even when I'm filming out reels. So, what am I saying to camera? What maybe am I having with a voiceover? And what am I actually saying about Flodesk? So, that's kind of what a few of my outlines look. And you can do the same thing for when you're sharing your partner link. So these are just a few things that I like to include in my outline. So I like to include any copy or text that I want to add on story slides, add in carousels, add as text on a video, or even write in my caption. I also like to add some bullet points when I'm talking to camera or if I'm doing a voiceover. This makes like talking about all the things you love about Flodesk just a lot easier. And I actually like to have my call to action as well to make it really easy for people to take that action and take that next step to actually convert. And kind of to wrap up this section all about prep is let's say you're applying this off social media with some of the examples that I was giving. So maybe you're adding it to an offer, you're including it in your services that you do for your clients. The first thing you can do is think about what you already have as an offer. Maybe it's something you do one-on-one, like a package or a retainer. Maybe it's in your onboarding. Maybe it's in your courses or digital products. Maybe it's a fun bonus you can add in. But what are you already doing that you can naturally talk about Flodesk in and share a template or share a little Loom video walking through something and then add your affiliate link? It's a really natural thing you could probably do today and have ready to go by the end of the week. Another thing is start brainstorming ideas. Maybe you want to add in more offers. Maybe you want to improve your offers. Whatever that kind of looks like, know that you can use that to inform something new that maybe you're sharing with your audience or your clients. And make sure that when you're making these changes, whether it's new or additions, that you're actually marketing about it as well, because it's a very natural way to talk about Flodesk and create that awareness with Flodesk and your brand. So let's talk a little bit about calls to action because I feel like the templates conversation is happening in the chat. So y'all read my mind. Is we can get really creative and specific with the call to action that we're sharing for any of the content that I already mentioned. So for example, if you're sharing it in social media content, you can share the link in your link in bio. I think it's a really great, easy thing everyone can do to add it to your link in bio, whether you're adding the multiple links or if you're wanting to actually just add it to your link in Instagram, for example. Obviously, it's so easy to make a link in bio with Flodesk. So I would definitely recommend just doing that to make it very easy of like, this link in bio was actually created by Flodesk. Love that. And then or you can do DM automation, which I think a lot of people know what this is. But essentially, you're using a tool like ManyChat to when someone comments something on a video or a piece of content or even replies to a story, you can automatically send your partner link or even a template. So this is a really great way to make taking action really easy and something I often like to do in my content. And then when it comes to what link you're actually sharing, I think a template is such an easy way to get people to convert and take that action, which is like what we've been having a convo about in the chat. And so whether it's showing people like forms you already have, workflows, link in bios, like any of those things that you are creating, you want to share, that people are interested in, that are relevant to whatever you're sharing in your offer or in your content, go for sharing a template. It could be a really fun way to even test what converts better versus sharing your link directly. But of course, just sharing your main affiliate link. I mean, obviously, it's such a great perk for your audience in its own, but definitely make sure you're at least including both in how you're sharing about Flodesk. And so when we're talking about consistency, I feel like we already talked about content. We talked about how to prep, how to make sure to plan, how to be really thorough with how you're doing your content. But if we're wanting to build trust with your audience, build awareness and conversions for Flodesk, and get your affiliate income, we have to do this consistently. It isn't just something you can do once a month and call it a day. When you are going to see the best results is when you're doing this consistently and how you're showing up. And so this is exactly what it looks like. Brainstorm some ideas you can use. Maybe you were inspired by today. So maybe it's setting up a template you can create some content around. Maybe it's adding something to your offers. Maybe it's adding in a few videos a month that are sharing about Flodesk. Maybe it's a series. Definitely let me know what idea you feel like the most drawn to that you're like, I can do this right after this webinar. Like drop it in the chat. It's a little bit of accountability. But essentially, just one action step you can take is brainstorming all the things and pick one that you're going to start with. The next one is as we're ending off June, which is feels crazy to say, and going into July, what do you want to post? What offers do you want to add to? What are those things that you're wanting to do? And just make a game plan. Do the prep and make it really easy for you to execute so you actually start to see those results from what you're learning today. And also make sure you outline everything. Make it easy to post, to create, to execute so you can start seeing those results. And most importantly, repeat this. Maybe you do your planning quarterly, maybe you do your planning monthly. For example, as we go into Q4, maybe you're like, I know people are thinking about Black Friday, they're thinking about Cyber Monday. So can you make a template specific for that? Can you make some content specific to that? Can you make an offer specific to that? So think about things that are constantly happening, whether it's really timely or you're naturally planning content or updating offers, and essentially add in these things that I mentioned. And this will help you see great results as a partner and get more people using your Flodesk link. So that is kind of the whole spiel on how to naturally share about your Flowdesk link and share, create content and offers as a partner. But I wanted to open the floor for us to start doing some Q&A and chatting about it a little bit more.
Amazing. Yay. Thank you so much, Natasha. That was so
Yeah.
much good information. I love to seeing people's um the dots connecting, seeing that your
Yes.
template link is also your affiliate link. So yeah, if you do templates for forms, for emails, for workflows, it all links back to your partner link, which is so cool. And
Yeah.
that's fairly new. So if you didn't know that, it makes sense. It's still a new feature we have. Cool, amazing. If anybody has any questions, I don't see any in the Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, now would be the time to ask. You can either put them in the chat or the Q&A. But Natasha, I would love to hear from you. Is there anything that you've seen with your specific audience that they respond to the best? Because I know with all of this, it's very much like everyone's going to have a unique community that they're speaking to, whether it's their
Yeah.
clients, social media platform, podcast, newsletter, wherever. But I'm curious with your community, how have you found and kind of gotten to know them and seen what they respond to the
Yeah.
best?
Definitely. I think for me, one that I mentioned that was kind of a newer thing that I tested was actually adding a template to a paid offer. So not only was I making money from the offer, but sharing my Flowdesk template link actually added more value to them, but also made it really easy for them to join and use Flowdesk. I know when I was showing me like making the template links and setting everything up, people were like, oh my gosh, I want to join just so I can get that template. So I think it shows how it can be something that is totally like in one of your offers you already have that adds a lot of value. And I think when I show people like a result or a strategy or how I'm doing something, whether it's in an offer like it was for that workshop or in my own content, and I'm literally like, hey, I'm going to give you what I did, like here it is, like ready to implement. I think it just shows how easy it is to start with a new platform. Because I know from my community, I'm sure it's like that with a lot of people here, is that the hardest part about starting with a new platform or moving to a platform is like kind of setting things up, right? So if you can make it as easy for people to start seeing results with Flowdesk, I think that's definitely what I've seen work really well. But I think for me, obviously, I'm an educator. So the more and more I can talk about like the strategy of like, here's the email workflow I use, here's how I use launch emails, like here's how I use like video to grow my email list, it is naturally something that is like giving them tons of value where it feels like a natural integration versus me just saying like, oh, I use Flodesk, use Flodesk. Like I'm literally teaching them how I use it. So I think those are like the two things that have definitely worked the best.
Hmm. That makes so much sense. Like value add, education, and that's what's truly authentic when you're offering value, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're just saying, use Flowdesk, I love it. Like That's great, but what's really going to help people is what's going to convert people. So offering that value, showing them, not just telling them, is so important. So I love that. Katrina asked, did you say your link in bio created in Flodesk?
Yeah,
I'm
so essentially you can like add your link in bio, like make your link in bio in Flodesk and naturally link every like your Flodesk link and everything in that link in bio. So I find that it's a really great way to naturally like, especially for me as I'm always recommending link in bios and things like that. That's definitely something you can do, and that has worked really well for me before. So yes,
Yeah, and Katrina, that is also free for anyone to create a link in bio with Flodesk. You don't have to be a paid subscriber. So, getting folks to create a link in bio with Flodesk is a great way too to get them into the platform. And they can just be a free user using that. So, um, Jen said, "Do we have a video we can watch on how to share a workflow template as our Flowdesk link?" I'm not sure, Jen, that we have a video on that, but what you would do, is just go to your workflows, create your workflow, and just like with the email, like Natasha had that great visual where there was those three
yeah, I'm
dots on
pulling
the
it up.
email. You click it and it says share as template. It's the same with a workflow. So workflows are great, real high value add to share with your community because obviously they can just put it in. Everything's already in there. You have it all nice. You have it designed. You have the copy in there and it makes it so easy for them. So yes, so Natasha just shared it here. You would just click those three dots at the top of your workflow, and then the first one there, share as template. You'll get a template link. That link you can share out with your community. You can put it in a PDF. You can put it anywhere, and then if people sign up through Flowdesk, you'll get that kickback. And even if they're already a Flowdesk user, they can still use that link and they would just automatically be able to upload that to their Flowdesk account. So it's really, I was so excited when that feature came out
I love
because
it.
it's a game changer to be able to share workflows with people.
And it's not just workflows, it's forms, it's like workflows. There's like a few different things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, even checkout pages you can now share as templates. So we have a lot of designers who create those and even sell those. Like I love that you said, Natasha, you had a paid offer, but then you were also getting that partner income alongside that as well. So a lot of people will sell workflows, they'll sell email templates, they'll sell checkout pages, forms. Everything now on Flowdesk you can create and share as a template. So that's also newer. So if you did miss that announcement, it makes sense because it's pretty new. Great. Chanel said, "This is incredible. We create so many templates for people inside of their systems, and this makes life so much easier." Yes, for anyone who is a service oriented business, like if you're in people's Flowdesk accounts, you're a designer, you're an OBM, you're a copywriter, virtual assistant, getting in there and being able to create these and share those templates are really handy. Um, how long do the affiliate commissions take to pay out? I've read this somewhere, but I can't remember. You know what? I should know this. I believe it's 15 to 30 days. It's no more than 30 days, but that's probably in our FAQs. Um, I believe it's 15. If not 15, it's just around there. And you can go into your partner stack account and check all of that out. You'll be able to see your clicks, how your links are performing. You can create separate links to share in different areas to see what's working and what's not. Awesome. All right. Katrina said, "I want to do a Flowdesk challenge in my education group. Any suggestions of a good challenge?"
Can
I
you
feel
tell us
like it
more
would
about your
depend.
educational group?
Yeah.
Like, tell us more about who they are, like what the group is about, the vibes. Photographers. Okay. I think so. Obviously, I'm not the expert here, but hopefully, it'll just get some wheels turning. Um, I would think about like what do photographers need help with when it comes to email specifically. It could be as small as setting up your entire Flodesk account. Like it could be like a setup thing. It could be specific to maybe doing a promotional campaign. So maybe you're doing like how to book out the next quarter with photography clients. And so you could essentially walk them through a workflow with different emails. Maybe the template actually has like some prompts to get them started. Maybe each day of the challenge, they're essentially like actually writing those emails, and then they also get the workflow to set up that. They also can get maybe the template to set up the form to make it really easy. So kind of depends on what they're doing, but I think it could be more general of like here's how to like kickstart your email marketing with Flowdesk, or it can be a little bit more specific and granular of like here's how to book out your next quarter with photography clients using an email workflow. So that would be like just a few ideas to kind of get the wheels turning.
Amazing. Love
I
a
saw a
challenge.
I know I love a challenge too. I love a challenge too. I saw a LinkedIn question somewhere. I think I
Yes,
lost
I
it a little bit.
found it. Do you have any
Okay.
tips for LinkedIn? Tips for LinkedIn, that's where my audience is.
Okay, cool. I always think great video works anywhere. So honestly, all of the content ideas I shared would work well on LinkedIn. I think video is new to LinkedIn and not a lot of people are creating content on LinkedIn. So I think creating videos that are any of the things I mentioned are going to give you a really great leg up in terms of actually like getting people interested in sharing your partner link. I think another thing is going to the templates. I think that's a great thing that you can make specific videos or content around. And of course, it's a lot easier to share your link directly into your LinkedIn post. So I think that makes sharing about it really easy. But I think like definitely lean into video to show, not just tell people about the different elements of Flowdesk or how you're using it. And then definitely just like creating that educational content, that how-to content. It can be written, it can kind of be whatever, but I think that would do really well. Even some case studies, client results, I feel like those do well on LinkedIn. But definitely don't be afraid to lean into video and just share your link directly in the actual post, whether it's a template or your just main link.
I'm such a fan of repurposing content, just like format it for the different areas. And sometimes like LaShonda's killing it on LinkedIn, y'all. If you haven't gone and followed her, go see what she's doing over there. She's killing it. But sometimes you don't even have to reformat it, but just small tweaks on these different platforms. You can use it so many places. Do it
Yeah.
once and then just keep using it because it's incredible information that you are creating and value that you're doing. I know because I
Yeah.
know this group and the kind of content they create is incredible. Amazing. Cool. Great. LaShonda, you just got to put a link to your LinkedIn in the chat now
There we go.
because everybody's asking.
Yeah, video is so hot on LinkedIn, and one of our main clients, like that was their main platform, and we were constantly sharing like not only about Flowdesk but also templates and stuff that she created for her audience. It was specifically like nonprofits that are wanting to start using email marketing. So she literally shared like the workflow she uses for like onboarding like a new donor. So kind of just like a great example of like you can kind of educate people and just naturally give them what you're talking about.
Incredible. Great. We got the link for LaShonda's LinkedIn. Amazing. Great. Well, if there are no more questions, I just want to thank you so much, Natasha, for being here and sharing all of your wisdom with us. This was just so much good stuff that I know we will all be implementing into our content. And also, just a reminder to everyone watching, tag us in your content. We are always watching and we love seeing what you all are doing or creating. Reach out at any time with any questions. We are here for you. If you haven't yet join us in Slack. If any follow-up questions come up, that's the place to have those conversations. We appreciate you all so much. Once again, thank you so much, Natasha, for being here with us, and thank you all for joining us. And we will put the recording in Slack, and we will also send it out through email.
And I'll be hanging out on Slack if you have any other extra questions or anything.
Amazing. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.